From the moment you were chosen, before you even understood the weight of your destiny, something invisible yet undeniable marked you. It wasn't something seen by human eyes, nor was it a scent or sound you could point to. It was divine energy, a fierce, radiant current pulsing within your very being. This energy, pure and ancient, sets chosen ones apart from the ordinary. And it does something extraordinary. It makes demons identify you instantly. They don't need to hear your voice, see your face, or read your thoughts. Their recognition is primal and automatic because divine energy is their ultimate antithesis, a blazing light exposing them wherever they hide. As soon as you step into a room, walk down a street, or even breathe in a new environment, demons sense your presence, and their awareness sparks like metal drawn to a magnet. But this recognition is not just a warning or a threat, it's a revelation of the spiritual war raging beneath the surface of reality. To understand why demons identify you so quickly, you must first understand the nature of divine energy and how it resonates on a level beyond physical matter. Divine energy is not merely a vague spiritual concept or poetic metaphor. It is a real, powerful force that flows from the source of all creation. It carries the frequency of truth, love, and justice, vibrating at a level that unsettles darkness and awakens the light within. When this energy courses through you, it emits a signal that cannot be hidden or diminished by human frailty or worldly distractions. That signal acts like a beacon, drawing angels to your side, but simultaneously alerting demons to your existence. They can no longer hide in shadows or lurk unseen. Your divine energy forces them to reveal their presence, even if only in subtle, whispered ways. You may feel a sudden chill, see unexplained shadows, or experience an oppressive heaviness in certain places or around certain people. These are signs that demons are tuning into your energy and sizing up the threat you pose. The instant demons identify you, the spiritual battlefield intensifies. They begin to plot, strategize, and attempt to undermine your mission. But here lies the paradox. While their recognition signals danger, it also confirms your power. To be marked by divine energy means you have been set apart for a reason far greater than any ordinary struggle. You are a living embodiment of light in a world grappling with darkness. Your divine energy acts like armor and weaponry. It shields you from many attacks, disrupts the plans of your enemies, and creates openings for you to advance your purpose. Yet, this energy is not passive. It demands that you cultivate it, protect it, and wield it consciously. Many chosen ones stumble because they do not understand how to nurture their divine energy or how to use it to repel darkness without losing themselves in the process. Recognizing the signs of demonic identification is your first step toward mastery. You will notice subtle changes in your environment, shifts in the behavior of others, and even transformations within your own body and mind. These manifestations are not coincidences, but spiritual signals. For example, you might suddenly experience vivid nightmares, unexplained anxiety, or physical exhaustion during moments when your divine energy surges. These symptoms are often misunderstood, but are actually indicators that the spiritual realm is reacting to your presence. Demons attempt to shake your confidence and drain your energy because they fear the power you carry. Understanding this helps you develop strategies to protect yourself. Prayer, meditation, grounding exercises, and spiritual cleansing become essential tools in your arsenal. They help you maintain clarity, reinforce your divine energy, and block the influence of malevolent forces. But beyond defense, your divine energy is a call to action. It demands that you live authentically, courageously, and with unwavering faith. When demons identify you, they do so because you threaten their hold on the world. You embody change, transformation, and light. Your existence challenges the status quo and disrupts the comfort zones of spiritual darkness. You are not merely a passive target, but an active warrior. Your divine energy fuels your ability to bring healing, justice, and liberation. It ignites your intuition, sharpens your perception, and empowers your voice. When you speak or act from this place of sacred energy, your impact multiplies exponentially. This is why so many chosen ones feel isolated or misunderstood. The very force that makes you powerful also sets you apart from those who do not carry the same divine resonance. Friends, family, and society may fail to grasp the depth of your spiritual battle. You may be accused of being different, difficult, or even delusional. But this alienation is part of the process, a crucible refining your spirit to survive and thrive. You must cultivate an intimate relationship with your divine energy. This means daily practices of self-care, spiritual discipline, and constant alignment with your higher purpose. It also means embracing the paradox of being both fiercely powerful and profoundly humble. Your divine energy is not a tool for domination or ego, but a sacred trust. It demands responsibility and respect. When you honor this energy, you create an environment where demons cannot hold sway and angels can move freely. You become a conduit for divine will, channeling light into the darkest corners of your world. As you grow in this awareness, you begin to notice that demons not only identify you, but also respond to your presence in unique ways. Some may retreat immediately, unable to withstand your radiant energy. Others may linger, testing your boundaries or attempting subtle manipulation. Recognizing these patterns is key to maintaining your spiritual sovereignty. You also learn that divine energy is contagious. By nurturing your own light, you inspire others to awaken their own. You become a catalyst for collective transformation, helping to shift the spiritual atmosphere around you. This ripple effect magnifies your impact, far beyond what you might imagine. The path of a chosen one is not easy. The constant awareness of spiritual forces at play can be overwhelming. But remember, the very fact that demons identify you instantly means you are operating on a higher plane of existence. You have been entrusted with a mission that transcends the mundane and touches the eternal. So embrace your divine energy. Protect it fiercely. Use it wisely. Stand tall in the face of darkness, knowing that your light is the beacon that guides the lost, heals the broken, and conquers the shadows. Your identity as a chosen one is a sacred truth. Demons may recognize you, but they cannot defeat you unless you allow them to. Your power is born from the source of all creation, and it flows through you like a river of fire and light. Rise up and claim your place as a warrior of divine energy. Let the world know that you are here, marked and empowered, and that no darkness can silence the force that burns within you. The moment a chosen one steps into the unseen battlefield, they quickly realize that the spiritual realm operates with rules vastly different from the physical world. Demons are not blind entities wandering aimlessly. They are keenly aware of the presence of divine energy, and they respond to it instantly. To understand why demons identify you so rapidly requires diving deep into the mechanics of spiritual vibration and the invisible signatures that your divine energy emits. Every living being carries an energetic frequency. a unique vibration that defines their spiritual fingerprint. For most people, this frequency fluctuates within a common range, making them relatively invisible to spiritual predators who operate on different wavelengths. But for chosen ones, their frequency is amplified, elevated, and distinctly marked by divine energy, a signal that both attracts and repels with fierce intensity. Think of your divine energy as a radiant lighthouse standing tall amidst a stormy sea. Demons, like dark ships lurking beneath the waves, cannot help but detect this beacon. It pierces through the fog and darkness, illuminating their hiding spots. This exposure triggers their immediate recognition of you as a threat. Unlike the usual spiritual entities that prey on the unsuspecting or weak, demons see you as a target to be analyzed, tested, and, if possible, neutralized. This recognition is instantaneous because demons possess an ancient, almost instinctual, ability to read energy signatures. Their perception is not limited by physical senses, but extends into the spiritual domain where energy patterns are unmistakable. When your divine energy pulses at a high frequency, it creates a disruption in the spiritual atmosphere, much like a high-pitched sound shattering glass. This disruption alerts demons, forcing them to turn their attention directly toward you. The intensity of this response depends on several factors: the purity of your divine energy, the clarity of your spiritual alignment, and the strength of your personal willpower. Those who have cultivated their connection to the divine more deeply will naturally emit a stronger, clearer signal, making it impossible for demons to ignore. However, this interaction is not one-sided. While demons identify you instantly, you also begin to perceive them more clearly over time. Your heightened divine energy acts as a spiritual antenna, tuning your awareness to detect subtle shifts in the environment, invisible presences, and energy imbalances caused by demonic interference. This dual perception creates a continuous feedback loop where both you and the demons become increasingly aware of each other's movements. The recognition from demons often manifests in ways that can be confusing or alarming to chosen ones unfamiliar with the spiritual realm. You might notice a sudden drop in temperature, unexplained feelings of dread, or shadows flickering at the edge of your vision. These are not coincidences, but spiritual markers signaling that demons are nearby, assessing your energy and possibly preparing to engage. Understanding this dynamic is crucial because it shifts the narrative from fear to empowerment. When you realize that demons identify you not to overwhelm you, but because your divine energy challenges their existence, you begin to reclaim control. This awareness allows you to prepare mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the ongoing battle that defines your journey. One of the most profound truths about this identification process is that it forces you to confront your inner darkness. Demons are not only external adversaries, but also symbolic representations of your fears, doubts, and unresolved wounds. When they recognize your divine energy, they trigger these shadows within you to test your resilience and commitment to your path. This internal confrontation is where many chosen ones struggle the most. The pressure to maintain purity and strength while facing relentless spiritual attacks can lead to exhaustion and moments of despair. But these trials are part of the sacred process of transformation. Each challenge met and overcome refines your divine energy, making your light brighter and your spiritual presence more formidable. To navigate this terrain, it's essential to develop spiritual practices that reinforce your energy and protect your boundaries. Techniques such as daily meditation, prayer, energy cleansing, and grounding rituals become vital. These practices help you regulate your vibration, clear negative influences, and maintain alignment with your higher self and divine purpose. Moreover, understanding that demons identify you instantly underscores the importance of discernment in your relationships and environment. Not everyone around you resonates with the same frequency of divine energy, and some may unknowingly or deliberately carry energies that attract demonic attention or dampen your light. Learning to recognize and distance yourself from such influences protects your spiritual well-being. Another critical aspect is recognizing the subtle ways demons attempt to manipulate or deceive chosen ones once identified. They may masquerade as friendly spirits, inject doubts, or create distractions to divert you from your mission. Because they are aware of your divine energy, they focus their efforts on finding cracks in your armor, moments when your faith wavers, your emotions overwhelm, or your focus slips. Your divine energy acts as both shield and sword in these encounters. It shields you by creating a protective aura that repels low-level attacks and disruptions. It acts as a sword by empowering your intuition and spiritual discernment, enabling you to cut through illusions and lies. But to wield this power effectively, you must cultivate a conscious connection to your energy through ongoing spiritual work. The process of strengthening your divine energy and enhancing your spiritual awareness is not linear. There will be days when your light shines brilliantly and demons recoil in defeat. There will be days when shadows loom large and you feel vulnerable. This ebb and flow is natural and necessary for growth. Patience and perseverance become your greatest allies. One of the most empowering realizations is that the instant identification by demons is not a curse, but a confirmation of your sacred role. It affirms that you have been chosen to carry a unique light in a dark world, to be a warrior in the unseen realms, and to embody divine purpose in every step you take. This sacred acknowledgement also means that you are never alone. Though demons may recognize you instantly, so do the forces of light. Angels, spirit guides, and benevolent energies are drawn to your divine frequency, ready to support and guide you through your journey. Your connection to these allies grows stronger as you embrace your role with humility and courage. To harness this support, you must cultivate practices that invite divine assistance, prayer, visualization, and calling upon your spiritual guides. Deepen your connection to the light that surrounds and protects you. These practices reinforce your divine energy, making it a beacon not only for spiritual allies, but also for those seeking awakening and healing. In practical terms, the awareness that demons identify you instantly translates into a life lived with heightened spiritual vigilance. You learn to read the signs, trust your inner guidance, and act decisively to maintain your energetic integrity. This vigilance is not about living in fear, but about being awake and present to the realities that others may ignore. You also begin to see your challenges as sacred tests designed to purify and strengthen you. Each confrontation with demonic forces, whether internal or external, becomes an opportunity to deepen your faith, clarify your purpose, and expand your spiritual power. The divine energy within you is a living flame that must be tended with care and reverence. It requires nourishment through positive thoughts, conscious choices, and alignment with truth. Neglecting this energy leaves you vulnerable to spiritual fatigue and attacks, while nurturing it creates an unbreakable fortress around your soul. Demons identify you instantly because your divine energy interrupts their domain, exposing their weakness and foiling their plans. This is why your presence is both a threat and a challenge to them. They recognize in you the power to transform darkness into light, chaos into order, and despair into hope. Your journey as a chosen one is a sacred calling to walk in this powerful energy, to wield it with wisdom, and to inspire others to awaken their own divine spark. As demons identify you instantly, so to do the forces of light, affirming your place in the eternal dance between darkness and illumination. The more you embrace this truth, the stronger your divine energy becomes, creating a magnetic field that draws blessings, protection, and spiritual breakthroughs. Your life becomes a testimony to the power of light in the face of darkness, a beacon guiding others toward their own awakening. This sacred reality is not meant to intimidate, but to empower. Knowing that demons identify you instantly is a call to step fully into your power, to live authentically, and to walk your path with unwavering faith. It is an invitation to rise above fear, claim your divine inheritance, and become the light you were always meant to be. When you first begin to understand the spiritual realities that chosen ones face, the experience can feel overwhelming. The realization that demons identify you instantly because of your divine energy shakes the foundation of your everyday perception. It forces you to see beyond the surface and into the hidden forces that influence your life. But this awakening is also a powerful gateway, an initiation into a deeper level of spiritual awareness that few ever reach. Demons identifying you instantly is not just about recognition. It is about the spiritual warfare that begins the moment you step onto your sacred path. Unlike others who wander unaware, you are marked by a vibrational signature so potent that it disrupts the balance of the unseen realms. This disruption compels the dark forces to respond, testing your strength, your clarity, and your resolve. The intensity of this recognition is directly related to the purity and power of your divine energy. Divine energy, by its nature, is a light that emanates from your soul, connected to the highest source of creation. It is untainted, luminous, and inherently powerful. When it pulses through you, it creates a ripple effect that touches everything around you, people, places, and spiritual dimensions alike. Demons are attuned to this ripple. They perceive it as a threat because divine energy exposes their dark intentions and corrupt influences. To them, your presence is like a flare set off in the middle of a shadowy battlefield. They cannot ignore it, and so they respond with urgency and aggression. This response often manifests in subtle but persistent spiritual attacks aimed at weakening your connection to the divine. One of the first challenges you face as a chosen one is learning to differentiate between the external spiritual attacks from demons and the internal struggles that arise as a result of these attacks. Demons do not just confront you with fear or darkness. They seek to infiltrate your mind and emotions. They exploit your vulnerabilities, planting seeds of doubt, confusion, and despair. This internal battle can be as fierce as any external confrontation. When your mind becomes a battleground, it can feel like you are fighting alone in the dark. The attacks may come in the form of intrusive negative thoughts, crippling anxiety, or paralyzing fear. They whisper lies about your worthiness, your strength, and your destiny. Their goal is to break your spirit and sever your connection to the divine energy that defines you. Understanding this aspect of the battle is crucial for chosen ones because it highlights the importance of mental and emotional vigilance. Your mind is the gateway through which divine energy flows, and if it becomes clouded or weakened, your entire spiritual foundation is at risk. Learning to guard your thoughts, cultivate resilience, and maintain emotional balance becomes an essential part of your journey. One of the most effective ways to fortify your mental and emotional state is through spiritual discipline. This can take many forms, from meditation and prayer to journaling and mindfulness. These practices help you center yourself, clear mental clutter, and reconnect with your divine energy. They also create a buffer against demonic influence by raising your vibrational frequency and strengthening your spiritual defenses. The process of spiritual discipline is deeply personal and evolving. What works for one chosen one may not work for another. The key is consistency and intentionality, showing up daily to nurture your connection to the divine and protect your energy. Over time, these practices build an inner fortress that demons find increasingly difficult to penetrate. Another layer of complexity in this spiritual dynamic is the way demons use deception. They are masters of illusion, able to mimic light and truth to lure chosen ones into traps. Their ability to disguise themselves as helpful guides, positive spirits, or even manifestations of your own desires makes them incredibly dangerous, because demons identify your divine energy instantly. They focus their deceptive tactics specifically on your areas of weakness and doubt. They create illusions that appeal to your ego, your fears, or your deepest longings. This creates confusion, making it hard to discern what is real and what is a trap. Their goal is to divert you from your path, making you question your divine purpose and your ability to fulfill it. This is why spiritual discernment is such a vital skill for chosen ones. Discernment allows you to see through illusions and recognize the true nature of spiritual influences. It is the ability to distinguish between the voice of your higher self, the guidance of benevolent spirits, and the manipulations of demons. Cultivating discernment requires patience, study, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself and the spiritual realm. As you develop discernment, you begin to recognize patterns in how demons operate. They often attack when you are vulnerable, moments of fatigue, emotional turmoil, or spiritual dryness. They exploit times when your connection to divine energy feels weak or distant. Understanding these patterns allows you to anticipate attacks and prepare accordingly, turning the tables on the forces that seek to undermine you. The recognition by demons of your divine energy also comes with an unexpected paradox. It attracts not only dark forces, but also spiritual allies. Angels, spirit guides, and benevolent entities are drawn to your light just as intensely as demons are drawn to your presence. This spiritual attention creates a dynamic environment where you are constantly supported and challenged, tested and uplifted. Your divine energy acts as a magnet in the spiritual realm. It pulls toward you the energies that resonate with your frequency, some harmonious, others hostile. This magnetism means that your spiritual journey is never solitary. Even in moments of isolation or struggle, you are surrounded by unseen forces working for your highest good. To tap into this support, you must learn to communicate and collaborate with your spiritual allies. This can happen through prayer, meditation, or intuitive practices that open your awareness to their presence. These allies provide guidance, protection, and strength, helping you navigate the complex terrain of spiritual warfare. Their presence is often subtle but powerful. You might experience sudden insights, feelings of peace amid chaos, or unexpected solutions to problems. These are signs that your spiritual allies are actively working with you, reinforcing your divine energy and countering demonic interference. Another critical aspect of being instantly identified by demons is the responsibility that comes with this awareness. Your divine energy is not just a personal blessing. It is a tool for transformation in the world around you, because demons recognize you as a threat. They often intensify their efforts to prevent you from fulfilling your mission. This means that your journey as a chosen one involves confronting not only personal challenges, but also larger forces of darkness that affect communities, societies, and even the collective consciousness. Your divine energy becomes a force for healing, awakening, and liberation. But this also places a target on your back. Embracing this responsibility requires courage and faith. It means standing firm in your truth even when the opposition seems overwhelming. It means choosing light in the face of darkness and continuing your path despite setbacks and attacks. Every step you take in alignment with your divine purpose weakens the hold of demons and strengthens the light in the world. Your divine energy also serves as a catalyst for others. When you live authentically and boldly, your energy inspires awakening in those around you. Others may begin to recognize their own divine light and step into their spiritual power. This ripple effect is a profound aspect of your calling as a chosen one. However, this role is not without sacrifice. Because demons identify your divine energy instantly, you may face rejection, isolation, or misunderstanding from those who do not share your frequency or spiritual awareness. This can be one of the most painful aspects of the chosen one's journey. Feeling alienated from friends, family, or society because your light shines differently. Yet this isolation is also a form of protection. It creates the space needed for you to grow and refine your divine energy without distraction or dilution. It forces you to seek support from spiritual sources rather than relying solely on human validation. Over time, you learn that true connection comes from shared spiritual alignment rather than external acceptance. The process of being identified by demons and navigating their attacks is a continuous cycle of growth, challenge, and transformation. It requires resilience, patience, and unwavering faith in your divine identity. Each encounter with darkness becomes an opportunity to deepen your connection to the light within. As you move forward, remember that your divine energy is your greatest asset. It is the core of who you are and the foundation of your spiritual power. Nurture it, protect it, and let it shine without apology. The instant recognition by demons is not a burden, but a testament to your sacred role in the cosmic order. The journey is demanding, but it is also glorious. You are a living embodiment of divine light in a world that desperately needs it. Every challenge you face is a stepping stone toward greater spiritual mastery and fulfillment of your destiny. Keep your heart open, your mind clear, and your spirit strong. The forces that identify you instantly are powerful, but your divine energy is infinitely more so. Walk your path with confidence, knowing that you are seen, you are chosen, and you are deeply loved by the highest sources of light. The moment you become aware that demons identify you instantly because of your divine energy, you realize that this recognition isn't passive. It is active, relentless, and strategic. Demons do not merely notice your presence. They respond with calculated intent to disrupt, distract, and diminish your power. Understanding the nature of their response is critical for chosen ones because it reveals the depth of spiritual warfare that lies hidden beneath everyday life. Demons perceive divine energy as a beacon of light that threatens their dominion. Their survival depends on maintaining shadows, on keeping people disconnected from their true spiritual power. The divine energy you carry is a direct challenge to their control, and their response is fierce. They engage not only to protect their territory, but also to try to capture or corrupt your light. One of the most common tactics demons use is infiltration. This is a subtle form of attack where they seek to enter your inner world through unguarded emotional wounds, past traumas, or unresolved fears. Unlike overt attacks that are easier to recognize, infiltration is deceptive. It creeps in quietly, influencing your thoughts and feelings until you start doubting yourself, questioning your purpose, or feeling emotionally drained. This infiltration often manifests as persistent negative thought patterns that seem to arise from nowhere. You might suddenly feel unworthy, hopeless, or paralyzed by fear without an obvious cause. These feelings are not accidents. They are carefully planted seeds designed to weaken your spiritual defenses. When your energy is fragmented by internal conflict, demons find it easier to manipulate and control the space around you. Another dimension of infiltration is the use of false beliefs and limiting programming. Demons exploit cultural, familial, or personal narratives that diminish your sense of self and divine purpose. These narratives might tell you that you are not good enough, that your gifts are dangerous or unimportant, or that you must conform to societal expectations to be accepted. They trap you in cycles of self-sabotage and confusion. Recognizing these false beliefs is a critical step in reclaiming your divine energy. It requires deep self-examination and the courage to question long-held assumptions about who you are and what you deserve. Chosen ones must learn to distinguish between their authentic self, the radiant core connected to divine light, and the distorted self shaped by demonic influence or external conditioning. In addition to infiltration, demons engage in direct confrontation through spiritual attacks that affect your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. These attacks can manifest as unexplained fatigue, sudden illnesses, nightmares, or intense emotional upheaval. While these symptoms may have physical explanations, their timing and intensity often coincide with spiritual battles. Such attacks are designed to exhaust your resources and undermine your resilience. When you feel physically drained or emotionally overwhelmed, it becomes harder to maintain spiritual discipline, focus, and connection. This weakness opens doors for further demonic interference, creating a vicious cycle of attack and depletion. Understanding that these attacks are part of a larger spiritual strategy helps chosen ones respond with awareness rather than fear. Recognizing the signs allows you to take proactive steps to protect yourself, whether through prayer, energy cleansing, shielding techniques, or seeking spiritual support. Ignorance of these dynamics, on the other hand, leaves you vulnerable to prolonged suffering and spiritual decline. Another significant way demons identify you is by testing your boundaries. Your divine energy sets invisible limits on what kind of influence can affect you, but demons are relentless in pushing these boundaries to find cracks. They provoke you through situations and people that trigger old wounds, unresolved anger, or hidden fears. These provocations are designed to make you react impulsively, emotionally, or destructively. The way you respond to these provocations reveals the strength of your spiritual foundation. Reacting with anger, fear, or despair feeds the demons' agenda by giving them energy and footholds. Responding with calmness, clarity, and compassion, on the other hand, demonstrates mastery and blocks their advances. This dynamic is not easy. The emotional triggers demons use often tap into deeply buried pain that you might not even be fully aware of. Healing these wounds requires patience, self-compassion, and sometimes professional or spiritual guidance. But it is through this healing that your divine energy grows stronger and more refined. Moreover, demons exploit the isolation that many chosen ones experience. Because your divine energy makes you different, it can create barriers to connection with others. This isolation is a double-edged sword. While it protects you from energy drain and dilution, it also makes you more vulnerable to loneliness and despair. Demons use this loneliness as a weapon, whispering that you are forgotten, unloved, or abandoned. They amplify feelings of separation, making it harder to reach out for help or form meaningful connections. The pain of isolation can sometimes be more devastating than direct attacks, as it chips away at your sense of belonging and purpose. To counter this, chosen ones must cultivate spiritual community. Finding or creating spaces where your divine energy is recognized and supported is vital. This community may be small or unconventional, but it becomes a sanctuary that replenishes your energy and reminds you that you are not alone. Connecting with others who share your spiritual journey also creates collective power. When chosen ones come together, their combined divine energy creates a stronger field that repels demonic interference and amplifies healing and awakening. Spiritual alliances are not just comforting, they are strategic. In this ongoing battle, knowledge is power. Learning about the nature of demons, their tactics, and how they respond to divine energy arms you with the tools to defend yourself. Many ancient texts, mystical traditions, and modern spiritual teachings offer insights into these dynamics. Studying these sources deepens your understanding and equips you to recognize and dismantle demonic strategies. One powerful tool chosen ones use is the practice of spiritual discernment, the ability to see clearly through deception and align with truth. Discernment sharpens your perception, allowing you to detect the subtle influences of demons and avoid their traps. It also strengthens your connection to divine guidance, enabling you to follow the path that leads to your highest good. Developing discernment is a gradual process. It involves cultivating inner stillness, listening deeply to intuition, and testing spiritual impressions against your highest values and experiences. Over time, discernment becomes a reliable compass in the complex spiritual terrain you navigate. Another essential practice is energetic cleansing and protection. Because demons operate in the energetic realm, maintaining a clean and shielded energy field is crucial. Techniques vary widely, from smudging with sage or Palo Santo to visualization of light shields, salt baths, sound healing, and prayer. Regular energetic maintenance keeps your divine energy vibrant and less accessible to demonic manipulation. It also restores balance when you've been affected by attacks or infiltration. This ongoing self-care is an act of spiritual warfare, reclaiming your power and creating sacred space within and around you. In addition to defense, chosen ones must also embrace their offensive spiritual power. Your divine energy is not only a shield but also a weapon against darkness. When you step into your full spiritual authority, you can command demonic forces to leave and cease their attacks. This authority is rooted in your connection to the highest source and your alignment with divine will. Many chosen ones experience moments where they intuitively or consciously command demonic presences to depart. These moments can be frightening at first, but with practice and faith, they become a natural part of your spiritual practice. This assertive stance sends a clear message to darkness that your divine energy will not be compromised. Importantly, this power must be wielded with humility and wisdom. Spiritual authority is not about domination or fear, but about restoring balance and healing. When used with love and clarity, it transforms spiritual warfare into a sacred dance of light, reclaiming its rightful place. The journey of being instantly identified by demons because of your divine energy is therefore a paradoxical one. It is marked by challenge and conflict, but also by tremendous growth and empowerment. Each attack, infiltration, or provocation is an invitation to deepen your spiritual practice, refine your awareness, and strengthen your connection to divine light. This path is not meant to be walked alone. While isolation may sometimes feel inevitable, reaching out for spiritual allies, mentors, or communities can provide vital support and encouragement. Sharing your experiences helps break the isolation and creates bonds that nourish your soul. Above all, chosen ones must hold on to hope and faith. The recognition by demons is a sign of your sacred role, not a condemnation. Your divine energy is a force for transformation and healing in a world yearning for light. The trials you face are part of a larger cosmic plan that ultimately leads to awakening and liberation. Remember, you are not defined by the attacks or the darkness you encounter. You are defined by the light you embody and the love you carry. As you navigate the complexities of spiritual warfare, keep your heart open to the divine presence that guides and protects you. Your journey as a chosen one is a testament to the power of divine energy to overcome darkness. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to step deeper into your sacred identity and fulfill the destiny written in your soul. Stand firm, shine brightly, and know that you are never alone in this battle. As you continue to walk the path of a chosen one, fully aware that demons identify you instantly because of your divine energy, you realize that your journey is as much about self-mastery as it is about external battle. The recognition you receive from these dark forces is not a curse, but a confirmation of your spiritual significance. But this significance carries weight. It demands resilience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. One of the greatest challenges chosen ones face is learning to manage the overwhelming pressure that comes from being a target. Demons are attracted to your divine energy because it threatens their influence. They will do everything in their power to break you down, isolate you, and distract you from your true purpose. Understanding this helps you move from feeling victimized to becoming an active warrior in your own right. The pressure can come in many forms. It may look like a sudden surge of self-doubt when you are about to step into your calling. It might manifest as persistent emotional attacks that make you question your worth or even your sanity. These attacks are not random. They are carefully timed to coincide with moments when your spiritual growth is accelerating or when you are on the brink of a breakthrough. Demons use these moments to inject fear, confusion, and despair. They know that if they can disrupt your focus, they can delay or derail your progress. This is why chosen ones often experience intense spiritual battles right before significant milestones. The closer you get to embodying your divine mission fully, the more fierce the opposition becomes. This spiritual pressure can feel like a crushing weight, but it also serves as a refining fire. Like precious metals purified by flame, your divine energy is strengthened and purified through these trials. Each time you face the darkness and refuse to yield, your light grows brighter and more resilient. To navigate this pressure, chosen ones develop powerful inner disciplines. One of the most effective is the cultivation of daily spiritual practices that center and ground you. Meditation, prayer, breathwork, and visualization help you maintain connection to your divine source. These practices create an inner sanctuary, of peace and strength that demonic forces find difficult to penetrate. Meditation, for instance, is not just a tool for relaxation, it is a form of spiritual armor. When you enter a meditative state, you access higher levels of consciousness, where divine energy flows freely and unimpeded. This expanded awareness helps you see beyond the illusions and attacks that demons use to trap you. It also allows you to anchor yourself deeply in truth and love. Prayer is another vital practice. When you pray with sincerity and faith, you invoke the highest powers of protection and guidance. Prayer aligns your will with divine will, creating a force field of spiritual authority around you. It is a direct communication line to the source of all light, reinforcing your connection and reminding you that you are never alone. Breathwork is a powerful, tangible way to manage energy and emotions in real time. Conscious breathing calms the nervous system, reduces fear, and clears stagnant energy that demons try to exploit. It helps you stay present and centered even in the face of intense spiritual warfare. Visualization takes these practices a step further by allowing you to actively shape your energetic environment. You can visualize yourself surrounded by shields of brilliant light, impenetrable walls of divine energy, or sacred flames that burn away negativity. These images are not mere fantasies, they work because your mind and spirit respond to symbols and intentions with real energetic shifts. Alongside these spiritual disciplines, chosen ones must develop emotional intelligence. Demons often attack through emotional vulnerabilities, so learning to recognize, process, and release toxic emotions is crucial. Suppressing feelings or ignoring inner turmoil only creates openings for demonic influence. Healthy emotional processing involves acknowledging your feelings without judgment. It means giving yourself permission to feel pain, anger, sadness, or fear, and then consciously choosing how to respond. This process strengthens your emotional boundaries and reduces the power that negative emotions have over you. Emotional intelligence also includes the ability to set clear boundaries with others. Because chosen ones carry such potent energy, they can attract toxic people who unconsciously or deliberately drain their light. Learning to say no, limit exposure, or disengage from harmful relationships is an essential skill for maintaining your spiritual health. Many chosen ones find themselves misunderstood or even rejected by family, friends, or society because of their unique energy and purpose. This rejection can be painful, but it is important to remember that your value is not determined by external acceptance. Your worth is inherent, rooted in your divine nature. In fact, this rejection is often a sign that you are on the right path. When you stand in your truth and divine energy, you disrupt the status quo. You challenge old patterns and beliefs that others may cling to for security. This disruption can cause discomfort or fear in those around you, triggering resistance or alienation. Rather than shrinking away from this resistance, chosen ones learn to embrace it as a sign of transformation. They understand that their divine energy acts as a catalyst for change, both within themselves and in the collective consciousness. The discomfort they encounter is part of the necessary process of awakening and renewal. To further protect themselves, chosen ones often turn to sacred rituals and tools. These can include the use of crystals, talismans, sacred herbs, and symbolic gestures that hold spiritual significance. Each tool serves as a physical reminder of your divine connection and a conduit for spiritual energy. Crystals like black tourmaline, obsidian, and amethyst are prized for their protective properties. They absorb negative energy and create a shield around the wearer, Carrying or meditating with these stones helps chosen ones maintain clarity and strength amid spiritual assaults. Sacred herbs such as sage, palo santo, and frankincense are traditionally used to cleanse spaces and energy fields. Burning these herbs creates a purifying smoke that dispels negative influences and invites healing vibrations. Incorporating these rituals into your daily life reinforces your spiritual boundaries and invites divine presence. Talismans and amulets often bear symbols of protection and divine authority. Wearing or carrying these items reminds you of your sacred identity and strengthens your confidence. These symbols connect you to ancestral wisdom and spiritual allies who support your mission. Another powerful ally in this journey is the practice of affirmations and declarations. Spoken words carry immense creative power, and when chosen ones affirm their divine identity and mission, they reinforce their energetic signature, repeating affirmations such as "I am a vessel of divine light," "No darkness can penetrate my soul," or "I am protected by the highest power," creates an energetic barrier that repels negativity. These declarations also serve as a form of self-empowerment. They remind you of your inherent authority and your ability to command spiritual forces with love and clarity. Over time, affirmations shift your subconscious mind, rewiring limiting beliefs and strengthening your spiritual resilience. In addition to personal practices, many chosen ones discover that their connection to nature enhances their divine energy and protection. Nature is a powerful source of grounding and renewal. Trees, mountains, rivers, and the earth itself emit frequencies that harmonize and stabilize your energy field. Spending time in nature helps you release accumulated stress and negativity. It reconnects you to the natural rhythms and cycles that support life and healing. Chosen ones often feel a deep affinity for natural places, sensing the sacredness in the elements and the interconnectedness of all beings. Engaging with nature can also open channels of communication with spiritual allies, guides, ancestors, or elemental spirits that assist you in your journey. These allies offer wisdom, protection, and encouragement, reinforcing your divine mission. As you grow in your spiritual mastery, you begin to understand that the battle with demons is ultimately about reclaiming sovereignty. Demons seek to control by undermining your free will, your connection to divine truth, and your ability to manifest your highest potential. Your divine energy is the key to breaking these chains. Reclaiming sovereignty means stepping fully into your power with responsibility and grace. It means recognizing that you are a co-creator with the divine, entrusted with the ability to shape your reality and contribute to collective awakening. This realization brings profound healing and liberation. It is important to remember that sovereignty does not imply isolation or arrogance. True sovereignty is rooted in humility and service. It acknowledges the interdependence of all beings and the sacred responsibility to use power wisely and compassionately. Demons often try to tempt chosen ones with false power shortcuts, control, or domination. Resisting these temptations is a critical test on your path. The divine energy you carry calls you to align with love, truth, and humility, even when it is difficult. One of the greatest expressions of sovereignty is forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and others releases the chains of resentment and anger that can bind your energy. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather freeing yourself from the burden of carrying toxic emotions. When you forgive, you reclaim your power by refusing to be controlled by past wounds. You create space for healing and transformation, allowing your divine light to shine more fully. Finally, chosen ones learn that their journey is not just personal, but cosmic. Your divine energy contributes to a larger wave of awakening that spans dimensions and timelines. Each act of courage, faith, and love sends ripples through the fabric of existence. This cosmic perspective brings meaning and hope even in the darkest moments. It reminds you that the struggles you face serve a greater purpose, and that your light is part of a vast tapestry of divine expression as you embrace your role as a chosen one. Identified instantly by demons because of your divine energy, you step into a sacred covenant. This covenant calls you to be vigilant, compassionate, and fearless. It invites you to be a beacon of hope and transformation in a world hungry for light. The journey is challenging, but it is also beautiful and profound. With every step, you are forging a legacy of spiritual strength and awakening that will inspire generations to come. You are not alone. Your divine energy connects you to an infinite source of power and love that no darkness can ever extinguish. The final phase of your journey as a chosen one, marked by divine energy and instantly identified by demons, is a profound awakening to your ultimate purpose and the full scope of your power. This awakening is both an inward and outward transformation, one that calls you to rise beyond the battles and into a state of mastery, sovereignty, and unshakable peace. But reaching this point is never easy. It demands everything you have learned and the courage to wield your divine energy in service of a higher cause. The truth that many chosen ones come to realize is that the divine energy flowing through them is not just a gift or a burden. It is a sacred responsibility. This responsibility requires you to become a guardian of light, a channel of healing, and a warrior of truth. Demons identify you instantly because your energy disrupts their domain. But your power is amplified exponentially when you align with divine will and walk with humility and love. You begin this final phase by embracing your identity fully, without hesitation or doubt. This identity is not constructed by your achievements or the recognition of others, is intrinsic and eternal. It is the core essence of who you are, beyond all labels and roles. When you anchor yourself deeply in this truth, your divine energy radiates effortlessly, becoming a beacon that calls others to their own awakening. At this stage, many chosen ones experience a profound shift in perception. You no longer see spiritual warfare as a series of external battles, but as an internal dance of light and shadow. You understand that every challenge, every moment of fear or resistance, is an invitation to deepen your awareness and expand your capacity for love and forgiveness. This awareness transforms how you interact with demons and dark energies. Instead of reacting with fear or anger, you approach these forces with discernment and compassion. You recognize that demons, like all beings, are trapped in patterns of pain and separation. Your divine energy has the power not just to repel, but to heal and transmute. This does not mean you become passive or complacent. On the contrary, your spiritual authority grows stronger. You learn to set clear, energetic boundaries that protect your space without creating hostility. You use your voice, your presence, and your intent to command darkness to depart, knowing that your power comes from divine love and truth. An essential aspect of this mastery is the ability to remain centered amid chaos. The world around you may still be filled with confusion, fear, and hostility, but your inner world becomes a sanctuary of peace. This peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of unwavering faith. It is a quiet confidence that no external circumstance can shake. To cultivate this peace, many chosen ones deepen their connection to sacred practices and spiritual communities. While your path is unique, you are never truly alone. Aligning with like-minded souls who support and understand your mission creates a network of strength and encouragement. These communities provide not only fellowship, but also collective energy that amplifies your individual power. Sacred texts, teachings, and rituals become invaluable tools in this phase. They offer wisdom that transcends time and culture, grounding you in universal truths that sustain your spirit. Whether you draw from ancient scriptures, indigenous traditions, or modern spiritual movements, these teachings remind you of your place within the grand cosmic order. As you embody your divine energy more fully, you also become aware of the ripple effects of your presence. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions influence not only your immediate environment, but also the collective consciousness. This realization inspires a sense of stewardship, a commitment to act with integrity, kindness, and courage in all areas of life. Living as a chosen one means embracing both your light and your shadows. It means acknowledging your imperfections and vulnerabilities without letting them define you. This balance is the hallmark of true spiritual maturity. It allows you to engage authentically with the world while maintaining your sacred center.